Hello everyone, I hope it's going well for everyone. I have been playing New World for since open beta has started, I guess. And there has been queues and some experiences I had. I wasn't one of the players who has played during the closed beta or the alpha test. I don't know what did they call it. But I am ready to bring you an honest review about the game and the gameplay, and the graphics card issues we're gonna talk about, and FPS issues, game bugs, and it's gonna be a pretty honest review with the good sides and the bad sides of the game. And you can hear my coffee machine in the background. I'm gonna get my coffee and we're gonna go into the video. Hello and welcome to a game review, and we're off to the hype train for the New World. Some of these information is in this video are legit, but some of them are my own opinions, just so you know. As you may know, New World started its open beta just a couple of days ago. Now, New World has nearly 1 million players worldwide, 500,000 just in USA, and it made its peak player number with 913,000 players, and is one of the first 5 most played games on Steam. I'm one of the players that haven't played during closed beta because I was skeptical after all the things I have heard about the game, so I did not apply for it, but I have been playing since open beta started.
I know true power!
The biggest issue we know about the game is maybe the one with the graphic cards. As you may know, New World caused some certain brand of GPUs to die in the previous beta test. Later, issue was found to be not limiting the frames per second on the menu panel, but it only caused graphic cards which has faulty soldering to get fried because of sudden power surge to render unlimited FPS on that certain menu screen. Fortunately, since problem happened because of manufacturing error, GPU company replaced the cards. Really cool move. But now, game has an option to limit FPS everywhere, and also problems with these graphic cards seems to be no longer exist, which is good news. There were some news about some other certain brand of GPUs having problems, but there weren't any information about why and what was causing it. But as far as we know, new issue did not destroy these graphic cards, but it's still scary to hear that. Especially nowadays, where you cannot find good graphic cards without paying a lot. Now let's talk about some gameplay. I would say game's optimization is on the average. My system is pretty average, and on the first stage I used to get 50 FPS overall, but right now I'm getting around 40. I'm not sure what changed, but if you're in the range of 50s FPS wise, you really feel that 10 FPS drop. But one of my friends has a much newer system than mine and a high-end graphics card, and he said he is getting 70 FPS even in the cities average, even after the patch, which is cool. And he also reported he wasn't having FPS drops, so at this point I'm not really sure what's causing mine. Connection to servers also started pretty well. First few days, even though you waited up to 5 hours in the queue, game did not have server crashes or server lags even with that many players. If one thing Amazon has, it's the servers. But why the queues then? On the first day, I logged into to create my character at around 11 PM Central Europe time, and there were around 600 people in the queue. It lasted for about 20 minutes, and I thought, oh, not too bad. It's the first day of open beta release in the end, and the advertisement was good for this game, so of course they are being overloaded. But on the second day of the release, I waited 3.5 hours in the queue. 3.5 hours for 2,800 players in the queue. And it's funny because once you disconnect, rip. It's amusing, and this actually caused more serious problems to rise. So players trying to avoid being disconnected started auto-walking themselves into walls and find other solutions to stay connected. And then Amazon took 2 measurements for these insane queues, except the one that will solve the problem. First measurement was that Amazon made an announcement that they are changing their AFK detection system for the good and want players who are trying not to disconnect when they are away from keyboard to leave the game so they can manage queues. Many players' reaction to this was just disappointment, because it is obvious that players are doing this because it is impossible to reconnect once you disconnect. If people could go walk their dogs and have a dinner and come back, they would log off. So they are punishing the players because servers are not enough. And I'm saying punishing because they won't only change their detection system. If a player gets caught more than once when they are abusing the AFK system, Amazon said there will be more severe consequences for that player. I don't get why you need this kind of punishment system. Do you want players or not? And explaining we will punish only players who abuse the system doesn't make it right, because it's not the player's fault. And the second measurement was full servers will not accept any more character creation. I'm not so sure of the cap of the servers, but obviously it's not the server cap problem or AFK abuse that's causing servers to overload. We need servers, man. And it's funny, look, so what do you do when your servers have too many players in the queue? A. Punish players who are being AFK. B. Do not allow any more players. C. Invest in some new servers because you are one of the biggest MMORPGs in the world. Obviously, C did not come first, but later on they made another announcement for they will invest in more servers, and I can confirm that queues are in much better condition compared to release week. Many servers do not have queue right now, and the rest has around 200-300 people in the queue, which is equal to 20 to 30 minutes waiting time, so there's an improvement. So, the good sides and the bad sides of gameplay. As for the trailer and game comparison, I can easily say that game delivers what it promises. Everything you see in the trailer, visuals, in-game graphics, character designs, combat style, everything is same as in the trailer. This is my in-game recordings, me playing in the background, as you can see. You can crawl, crouch, shoulder aim, jump, fish, log, mine, skin, harvest, gather, cook, and even climb. But I'm getting some Pirates of the Caribbean vibes because you just walk under the water. Why can't we swim? Yeah, emphasis on that they delivered what they promised, because we haven't seen any characters swimming in the trailer anyways. The visuals are amazing for an MMORPG game. Look at the sunset and the mist and the grass and still waters. I can easily say that game gives Red Dead Redemption vibes, both on the graphics and with its survival vibes. But the bad side is that you have to compete for resources. It's a complete open world with survival features. I can assure you I haven't seen a single iron ore in the wild for the first few days. You would think developers forgot to put iron nodes or something. Later, iron got cheaper in the market because people camped and flooded the market with iron ores. Now no one loots the nodes. You may think competing for nodes may not concern you if you won't do any crafting, but it does, because quests ask you to get resources, and when there's a level 20 player in the area when you're doing your level 16 skinning quest, you will have hard time killing the mobs or skinning them before they do. Funny memory, one player actually swore and threatened to report my friend over skinning a bison we were chasing for 15 minutes. It still had half of its HP bar. Guy was 10 level higher than us and he killed it with one shot, but we skinned it. And we reported the guy for verbal abuse, but yeah. Another good side, you can turn on your PvP if you want, or you can turn it off. You can play the game either in PvP mode or completely PvE mode, no one can touch you. Bad side, it's amusing to see PvP players running around like a tribe nuking people who are just doing nothing but chilling around. So expect that if you're going to play with PvP option turned on. Classes obviously need more skills because you can get 2 weapons at the same time. There's a build and skill tree altogether, but overall you're playing with only 6 skills in total. At other times you just use your light and heavy attacks and it gets so boring after some time. Game is generally good, but it also needs an LFG system. Old MMOs didn't have LFG panel, so you would get in front of that dungeon you need and spam chat to get groups. Same for New World, you have to recruit players from chat to find dungeon group. I would prefer an LFG system, my opinion. Both good and bad depending on the preference, but there's fast travel, but I would still want mounts in this game. One last thing, I learned this game actually first designed to be a survival game, but then they decided to add quests and make it more like an MMORPG. I'm glad they did. It will be such a waste to have this game just as survival. Now all types of gamers can enjoy it. And after everything said and done, please remember, with all the good and bad sides, this game is still on beta, not fully released yet, but it delivers what it promises, except servers. This was one of my first game review videos. Hopefully it will help you decide if you want to buy the game or not. If you like the review, you can support making more of these videos by subscribing. Then I'll know you want more. Have a nice morning or evening wherever you are. See you guys soon.